Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Real Sports Updates here, back again with another video. And if you watched any of my videos before, as you can see, kind of upgraded my situation here a little bit. I'm committed to putting out the best audio quality, the best video quality that I can. Still kind of new with this YouTube thing, so it's gonna be a little time before I'm comfortable with everything, fully 100% comfortable. Um, this is just the first wave of changes that I'm going to make. I plan on, continuing to get better equipment and all of that stuff. But this is just the first phase and all of that. I'm going to continue to try to put out the best content that I can. And hopefully you guys rock with me. So thank you for all your support so far. And hopefully I can keep making good content. So with that being said, let's get into the topic today. So the city of St. Louis is basically in litigation with the NFL. And if you guys are familiar with NFL news, you would know that it's due to the Rams relocation in 2016. Now, there was some agreements in place, and from what I understand, these agreements are archaic, and I don't believe any of the owners, possibly Jerry Jones, but I'm not sure. Possibly Jerry Jones, maybe Mike Brown, but I know that these agreements were put in place before most of the current owners, even owned any team. So these are old, pretty much archaic rules, but they still are applied, because they haven't been changed, So it is, on the NFL, it's on the franchise who is relocating to, basically give the city that they're leaving, pretty much a severance package, in theory, right? They want money for a NFL team leaving, right? Because you are taking jobs with you, you're taking a lot of, just economic stimulation for an area, and it doesn't matter how good or bad the team, I mean it does to some degree, but NFL teams make a lot of money. A lot of fans go out to games, a lot of fans buy merchandise. The team, they once they're in the city, they try to get involved with the charity situations in the city. There's a lot that goes on when NFL teams are in cities. So when you have an NFL team leave a city, they're taking literally hundreds of millions of dollars away, if not billions, especially in modern times. These are billion-dollar teams, so that's basically what's going on with the city of St. Louis and the NFL. The lawsuit has been there since 2016, I believe, when the Rams actually executed the move to LA, back to LA. So back in 2015, I think, late 2014, pretty much all of 2015, the owners, at the owners meetings and things, they discussed moving the Raiders to St. Louis. And that was with the thought that the Rams were going back to LA, because that was the plan. That was a plan set forth by Stan Kroenke. He wanted to move the Rams back to LA. Obviously he purchased what was Hollywood Park, and he converted that into what is now SoFi Stadium. But those plans were already in place. So the NFL kind of wanted to replace the team in St. Louis, because they knew that there was going to be a lot of hullabaloo around, a relocation, for all of the things that I just mentioned, right? So they wanted to move the Raiders to St. Louis under a new quote-unquote ownership structure, I believe is what it was described as. So basically they wanted to have different ownership in place with the Raiders, right? Mark Davis is just not, he's not the owner that the other 20, 28, 29 guys are. If you are familiar with any of the Raider stuff that's going on right now, reports just came out the other day about the Raiders and how they run their organization. And it's I'm not going to go through it all, but they are mismanaging finances. They're not paying employees. There are like undertones of sexual harassment going on. And overall their organization it was described as a kind of a 1960s, 1970s type of organization, right? There's a lot of paper trail. They, for whatever reason, are not, fully digitized, with computers and things like that. So that's what's been described as the Raiders organization, and Mark Davis is the head of it. And he's also been described as a guy who's just really not into it. He's not around. He'll show up for game day on Sundays, and then he pretty much disappears for the rest of the week. So he doesn't really know what's going on inside the organization from that standpoint. And obviously with the Raiders, the vice president was fired, or he stepped down before Mark Davis fired him. There was just a lot of turmoil going on. So the NFL wanted to move the Raiders franchise to St. Louis under a new ownership, because they were kind of, they were kind of in the loop about what the Raiders were doing in Oakland, because the same stuff that's going on now in Vegas was going on in Oakland. So they kind of wanted to clean house, so to speak, relocate the Raiders all the way to St. Louis, which would have been something if that did happen, but obviously it didn't. So the Raiders are in Las Vegas, and they're still poorly ran. Nothing's changed on that front. But that's what the owners were discussing late 2014, pretty much all 2015. So obviously the Raiders ended up moving to Las Vegas. The Raiders were kind of competing with the Chargers, I guess you can say, for the second spot in LA. The Rams had already made plans to move back to LA. The NFL was going to be okay with two teams in LA, so it was between the Raiders and the Chargers. The NFL approved the Chargers move for all of the things that I just described that the Raiders were doing. The owners did not want the Raiders in LA because of all the financial mismanagement, all of the things that are going on now, and all of that stuff probably would have been exacerbated in LA because the influx of cash would have been a lot more. There would have been a lot more notoriety. There would have been a lot more. There would have been a lot more avenues for people to discover what's actually going on in the Raiders front office. So the NFL kind of wanted to stay away from that, so that's why they did approve for the Raiders to move to Vegas. And even though it is close in proximity to LA, the Vegas market is a market that was untapped. They're just happy to have the Raiders in town. So all of this stuff that's coming out now, this potentially would have been out, a year into the Raiders being in LA. So keep that in mind as well too. Now in November of 2021, the LA Times put out a little article, and it was rumored, and I don't think it was confirmed on any front, but it was rumored that St. Louis, because St. Louis was in, the city of St. Louis in litigation with the NFL, it was rumored that instead of a big cash payment, they wanted the NFL to award them another football team. But the terms of that, request was they did not want to deal with Stan Kroenke and the Rams again. They wanted to get the Chargers out to St. Louis, and that was rumored. Like I said, I don't think that it was confirmed. I didn't read anything that said that was a confirmed request from the city of St. Louis, but it was rumored, and it was kind of, I guess, thrown around, and that was the scuttlebutt around that situation. They wanted the Chargers to go to St. Louis. They knew what was going on with the Chargers in San Diego at the time, before they ended up moving to LA. They knew what was going on with the city and, Qualcomm Stadium and everything, all of the turmoil that was going on with the then San Diego Chargers. So they were kind of afoot of that, and they said, we want the Chargers in St. Louis, and, everything else will go away. If you replace the Rams with the Chargers, everything is good. Everything will go away. There'll be no lawsuits or whatever, and, we can just have business as usual. But none of that happened. The Chargers ended up being the second team in LA, along with the Rams at SoFi Stadium. And so now here we are, right? Here we are with the city of St. Louis, with significant litigation against the NFL. And in case anybody hasn't been paying attention, these hearings that the NFL and the city of St. Louis have been having have been riveting. The city of St. Louis is producing boatloads of documents, boatloads of proof, boatloads of evidence that the Rams did, they did kind of break the agreement of, what the relocation is supposed to be. And I can't go down that list like detailed, but there is a process that needs to be completed before a team relocates, right? Obviously, and going through ownership and all that stuff, that is a part of it, and that part got approved. But I guess there's other parts to it as well, too, right? To make sure that you are not just up and leaving a city, and, overnight and just moving. There's a process that needs to go, that needs to be completed, right? And I'm guessing that most of that is financial, but whatever the process was, it didn't get completed, and that's why the city of St. Louis is suing the NFL. So now, what the owners in the NFL, the other 29 owners in the NFL, are pretty much looking at Stan Kroenke and saying, "This is your mess that you made, so you're gonna have to clean it up." So, I can't remember what month the report came out. I believe it was earlier this year, but that's pretty much what it was. All 29 other owners kind of pointing their fingers at Stan Kroenke, saying that, if and when we lose, this litigation battle, this is going to be your thing to take care of. So basically, you're going to have to take your checkbook out, and you're going to have to write a big check to make all of this go away, because the city of St. Louis is coming. They're really coming for the NFL, and they are really trying to make everybody see that, hey, the NFL, they pretty much screwed us on this and left us high and dry. And that's where we're at in the process right now. Once this thing gets ruled on, I think obviously the city of St. Louis is going to win this matter, but Stan Kroenke can make this all go away. He's the richest NFL owner. He's got the most money. He built the new stadium, no taxpayer funds or anything like that. He built it himself. It's a $5 billion stadium, SoFi, right? It's beautiful $5 billion stadium, but it's nothing to him. And, considering all of the money that Stan Kroenke and the Rams have made since they relocated to LA, obviously, they're coming off of a Super Bowl championship. He probably made close to $1 billion just off of the Super Bowl game, possibly more, because this is a 70,000 seat stadium, right, for football games. Obviously, the game is sold out, and if you have tickets going for $1,000, possibly $2,000 to $3,000 or whatever like that, you can make $1 billion at the gate. Possibly $1 billion and a half dollars just at the gate. That's before anything else, merchandise, parking, all that other stuff. Stan Kroenke possibly made $1 billion, just off of the Super Bowl, and with going into this season, with the Super Bowl title, he's gonna make more money. He's gonna make another couple of $1 billion. So he's got the money to make this go away. I think he's just playing hardball at this point. I think he is just kind of waiting this out, and that's what rich people do. Anytime you're in a lawsuit, they'll wait you out, and they'll try to exhaust all of your resources until it's time to pay, and then they will begrudgingly write a check and pay it and make it all go away. But I think that's pretty much where we're at with this. I thought that this was an interesting story just because the Chargers were involved, and thinking about the St. Louis Chargers is a nasty thought, right? The St. Louis Chargers. Nobody wants to, that would have been more unpopular than the perceived unpopularity that the Chargers have now, right? All the Chargers haters are always saying that the Chargers don't have any fans. Do you think they would have fans if they moved to St. Louis? There would be no way. Playing in that dilapidated building that they call a stadium, the Edward Jones Dome, falling apart, leaks in the roof, and a whole bunch of just junk. It wouldn't have been good. It would not have been good for the NFL. It would not have been good at all. The ratings would not have been good for Charger games in St. Louis. The attendance probably wouldn't have been good for Charger games in St. Louis either. Like it's not and I'm not hating on anybody's city, but it's just not a booming area, for growth, for expansion, the way that LA is, right? Everybody is excited for football, right? And SoFi Stadium is there. It's beautiful. They got it open all the time. They're giving tours and doing all of this stuff. That's where the growth is happening, and you can go back to the old saying, right? If you build it, they will come. And that's pretty much what's happening in LA now with football, right? There was no NFL football there for I don't know how many years. Now there's two teams, and you had one team just win the Super Bowl. Now you have the other team, the Chargers, are up and coming. There's a lot of buzz about them. It is a booming market for NFL football right now, and all of the owners are going to benefit from that. That's why all of them except one, Mike Brown, the owner of the Cincinnati Bengals, all voted to approve the move to LA, and that's why they voted to approve the Chargers move from San Diego to LA as well too. It's a booming market. They're making money, and this is what they're in it for, right? They obviously want to compete. They want to win Super Bowls and go to conference championship games and do all of that stuff. But they're in this for money, and this is what they are. This is what they're interested in, and the NFL in LA is now, probably more popular than it's ever been in my lifetime. I was very little when the Raiders and the Rams were in LA, and I don't remember football being as big as it is now. Yeah, it's just not. Like I said, with the stadium, with everything going on, the stars and all of that stuff, it's just big. It is. It's just big. If you're riding down any street in LA, you see any of the billboards, any of the Rams billboards, you see Aaron Donald all around town, Matt Stafford and all that stuff. It just seems big. It seems big. It seems like they are stars, right? And you see the billboards, you see the advertisements and all that stuff. You see the magazine covers and all that stuff. It looks like something that you should care about, and that's exactly what people care about this, right? Even if you're not a Rams fan, even if you're not a Chargers fan, even if you're a fan of another team, you care about it. LA is a destination city when your team is scheduled to play the Rams or the Chargers at SoFi. A lot of people, that's going to be the game that they go to, right? Because you can fly in on a Thursday night, you can go to Disneyland on Friday, you can go to the beach on Saturday, you can go downtown to LACMA, you can go do all of these tourist things, right? You can go to, if it's basketball season, you can go catch a Clipper game, you can catch a Laker game, you can go to Knott's Berry Farm, you can go to Universal Studios, you can do all of this great stuff around LA and then go to your NFL game on Sunday, right? So this is what it is right now. This is what the reality of the NFL is, and the destination city like LA makes it a big deal, and that's why the NFL is a big deal in LA for the locals, for the fans who come in to watch their teams play, the LA teams. It's just big. It's big, and it's a better market, and it's more lucrative than St. Louis. And I'm not taking any shots at the city of St. Louis, but it's just a better market than St. Louis is right now. So facts are facts, right? So, but that's pretty much what it is, guys. That's pretty much what it is. But I just kind of wanted just to cover. This is a very quirky story. I knew that this was gonna have legs when I heard about this many years ago, and now all of this stuff is starting to come out. So I thought it was interesting. Like I said, the St. Louis Chargers is nasty. It doesn't roll off the tongue. But the Chargers aren't going anywhere. They're staying in LA. They're pot committed. They're about to open a new practice facility in El Segundo. Is coming in 2024. They're going to do the groundbreaking here pretty soon, I believe. Right? So the Chargers are pot committed in LA. They're going to stay here. They're going to build the fans. They're going to build the fan base up. They're going to build a team up, obviously. And, they're going to continue to rise, continue to gain popularity in LA, just like the Rams are. So I'm excited. If you are a LA football fan, just in general, you should be excited. And if you're a fan of any team, you should be excited. This is going to be a lot of growth is going to happen, with these two teams in LA now. So it is what it is. The NFL is making money. They're printing money at this point. And I'm sure that everybody's happy with the move. It's just on Kroenke to take care of this, write a check, make him go away. Everything will be good. So, but that's pretty much all I got for this one, guys. Please, if you enjoyed my content, please consider subscribing to the channel. If you enjoyed this video, please don't forget to give me a thumbs up on the way out. That's pretty much all I got for this one, guys. I will be back with more content. And until next time, thank you for your support.